I'm RaJean Strube Fossen, Assistant Mayor for the City of Lander. I've worked for Lander about 10 years, but I've lived in Lander for 30 years and experienced numerous flooding along this river that you see right behind us. Lander has flooded 19 times since 1963. Two of the most recent were federal FEMA disasters that required mitigation. That was in 2010 and 2017. The Western Water Assessment program that we did gave local stakeholders an opportunity to thoughtfully diagram what we would do in the event of a disaster and come up with some mitigation and resiliency for the future. So there were a lot of critical areas that we looked at for what happens to our citizens in a disaster. We talked about critical infrastructure like water, sewer, transportation, access to our medical facilities. We talked about sheltering and housing displaced residents. We talked about temporary and permanent solutions for transportation and housing. And then we also went deeper into our economy. What does a disaster do to our future economy for agriculture and other Lander-related businesses? One of the great things about our workshop was that it brought stakeholders from all different walks of work and life into the same room. And it gave us a huge understanding who should be doing what, who should be worried when, and how to communicate everything through a warning to post-flooding. One of the key takeaways that we had in our workshop was the communications necessary for pre-disaster flooding and communications during a flooding event. So had we not got together and sat in that room, we may not have the connections and the partnerships that we have right now to go ahead and make sure that our citizens are completely safe during a disaster event. The City of Lander and its stakeholders valued the workshop because of that collaborative effort to get together and talk about what would happen in the event that we are presented with a disaster. That's key in anything that we do. We need to make sure all the players are up to date in pre-planning processes and then mitigation after an event. I personally have recommended Western Water Assessment Program to additional rural communities. Especially the smaller the community, the harder it is, hard to believe, the harder it is to get everybody around a table. And so I touted Western Water's ability to go ahead and get all the right stakeholders in the room. The diagram approach that was used in our workshop was a great method for everybody. We had a few aha moments like, wow, that's how we can define our risk, and wow, that's how we can help our community.